Hey guys, my name is Mac, and I'm working on an animation project for the Detroit International Festival of Animation here at a program called Slam & Co. with a bunch of other creators working on their passions full-time as well. So I wanted to give you guys the 6 to 7 week update. We're here at Slam for 10 weeks, so the program's like coming to a close. So I try to give you guys updates every week, but I did take a little bit of break last week, but that only means I got a lot more to say. Alright, you probably wondering why I dressed up as Spider-Man right now. It's because today is Halloween, and it's a Halloween party. I filmed on Fridays. You're probably not gonna see this on Halloween, but still, that's kind of why I'm dressed up. Anyways, these past 2 weeks, I've been working on a lot of different things. And one of the main things I wanted to get done for the rest of the sprint, or the rest of, I guess, Slam, is my storyboard. The storyboard is the longest part in the pre-production process, at least personally for me, because all the other parts I've already know how to do. Not super well, but they're easier to move through. So as you guys know, the first thing I did was character design, the character model sheets, and the concept art, and now I'm kind of like in the storyboard realm. And this is going to be like kind of the bulk of everything. So it's a little bit more of a wait, because I have to make boards have kind of match like the animation that I'm going to be doing afterwards. And this is like the end of my pre-production phase of design. So how did I make my storyboards, you might be asking? Thing is, I've never really made actual storyboards like in the digital realm. I've only done them like kind of like on paper. And I wouldn't even say they were storyboards. They're kind of like mini comics, because basically what I'm showing is actually it's going to be animated. And I'll have like little arrows or like something to give me directions on how each character should be animated, but I've never like done like each different like separate picture trying to show the flow of like the whole story going through and stuff like that. I've also never done something that's this long or large, so I think it's a little bit more of a tedious process for me. So I wanted to find a program that I was actually comfortable with, or could become quickly comfortable with, because I wanted to get right into the process, because I feel like I'm going to be needing a lot of storyboards, a lot of different boards to kind of like push and describe to myself when I'm animating what the story's going to be like, how it's going to run, how all the different animations are going to work. So the first part of week 6, I was mostly focusing on trying to figure out what animation software I was going to use. There's a lot of industry standard softwares, and people use things like Photoshop as well. And I was watching videos on people using Photoshop to do storyboards, and they're using these things called layer compositions, and I was just so confused. I was just like, no, this looks really confusing and maybe a little bit messy in my head how it works. Maybe I get used to it in the future, but right now it's like I can't just jump into these things. I mean, I've used Photoshop, but I've never used layer composition, so I just thought it was a little bit complicated, and I want something that I can see a board and move on to the next one and, you know, not have to think about it. And I also want something that had like timing, so I could kind of see it almost my storyboard as an animatic, which is basically kind of like a storyboard, but it's just like playing at the correct timing that your animation will be timed to. So I did a little bit more research. There was other industry standard software like Toon Boom Storyboard Pro, but it was kind of expensive, and I want something that was like more accessible and free. So I found this one called Storyboarder by Wander Unit, and it's a free software that people were using on Reddit and stuff like that. I was like, you know what? Let me try it. The thing is, the software isn't super comprehensive. Like, I can't do shading and layers the same way as I would do in Photoshop, but you can export your images to Photoshop if you really wanted to. I found it as to be like a feasible option, and the interface is really basic, and everything was like really like I could understand it without having to Google how does this work. So I started using that to do my boards, and it was really fun. I like playing around with timing to see how different scenes would play out, if they're going to be too long. I would just shorten the timing and like kind of think about how long my animation is going to be, and I could actually see it at the same time. Like, it would show you the timestamp of like how long your animation is like running for based off your animatics and stuff. So this will give me an idea of like where I am with timing with my animation. I spent a lot of week 6 and week 7 grinding out storyboards of lots of boards. My goal was to get through like the first, I guess, act, you would say, of the Kinji story that I'm crafting. It was just like the scene in the burrow, and I was referencing back to like concept art a lot of the time, because I just like kind of forgot where things in the burrow were placed, and I'm glad that I have the concept art to like help me reference those things. I do have a bit of struggles when I'm doing storyboards. Working on the storyboards has been kind of difficult, because I've never really done like a proper storyboard before. So as I'm doing them, I'm just like feel like I'm doing too many frames, so it's almost like I'm already animating. And I was told to like try to do like the bare bones minimum of like the action, and I've been trying to do that, but like let's say like my character is turning and they're doing a lot of like facial expressions. Like there's one where Kinji is like holding up her acorn pot, and she's just like kind of like analyzing, like she notices something's wrong with it, and then she's like, oh shoot, there is something actually wrong with it, and she gets like annoyed about it. So like that's like 4 or 5 like facial expressions. She's like, huh, curious, oh, the surprise, and the little bit of disdain that she's having. Do I have to like do all of those types of emotions and stuff? I posted this on TikTok, and somebody told me like kind of reduce that. So sometimes you'll make like 1,500 boards, and you'll have to cut it down to maybe like 900 because you just have so many extras that you don't really need. And maybe it'll be easier because it's just working on my own project, and I might not even need to cut anything out because it'll just be really helpful for the direction of the animation. But I think if I was ever doing this in a project seriously, I kind of want to know how to do it right. So if you guys see anything weird in the boards, like, oh, it doesn't make any sense, or if it's like too much stuff, just let me know in the comments, and I'll try to adjust as I go forward and maybe go back and revise a little bit, just so if I'm ever doing this professionally or in a team, it makes more sense. Maybe I should just be watching more YouTube Academy videos. Yeah, another thing about this animation software is that you can't do shading, and I see a lot of storyboards having like different shadings like in the back, like to show you what the focus point is, and this one doesn't have that. You can export your files to like Photoshop, and I could do that after, but I don't know, so many boards that I'm like, is it worth it? Let me know if it's worth it. I don't know. Give me some ideas. Maybe I can revise the boards later on. But let me know if it's like something you should really do, if it's something I can really or should even be focusing on. So yeah, that was a little bit difficult. And also the timing certain things and certain actions I'm like worried about, because like I've never filmed or done an animation without having the audio first. So I'm gonna probably have voice actors for all my different characters. And so I will basically get the line that I want my actor to say, and I'll say it, and I'll like time myself to see how long I'm roughly saying it for. And I'm kind of worried, like, because I've never animated something without audio before. So I'm just wondering, curious how people do that. Do they like record their own voice and then just up the character based off that? Or do they just know the sentences like, hi, how are you? And then just, I guess, make the lips for it or something. I just want to know, because I'm really confused on how to do that. All right, guys, it's about 3 p.m. We have our sprint, I guess the end of the sprint in 1 hour. And I completed about 140 different boards, and it's almost at the scene where it's like the end of the kind of act that I want to finish at. So making good progress, and I still have to readjust the timing, but I'm about 2 minutes right now of the whole, I guess, short film. So I'm thinking, honestly, it might be a 10-minute film. I'm kind of scared. I'm hoping it's like 8 minutes and not super long, but we'll see. So I think storyboards are something that I'm still kind of working on. Another thing I'm doing for Kinji is to try to promote Kinji and talk about Kinji a lot on social media and shorts and videos, and these videos pretty much. But I'm just wondering, do you guys feel connection to Kinji? I posted a video, a reel that just spoke about Kinji and Tunda, different characters, so 2 separate reels. And you guys kind of resonated with me just talking about the characters and who they are, their personalities and stuff like that. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool if I can get into more lore of like Kinji and their town and everything like that? And someone at Slam, Bonnie, she told me about these things called mail club. People will take envelopes, put little goodies inside, and mail it to people on kind of like a subscription basis. And I was wondering if you guys would be interested in that. I was thinking a few different ideas, which would be like a mini comic, a 6-panel comic about Kinji and stuff like that. Maybe a little letter from either me or a character from Kinji, and then 2 stickers, 2 or 3 stickers, yeah, something like that. And I was wondering if that would interest you guys at all, like exclusive stickers and then more lore about Kinji, the Kinji universe. I'm thinking about the area that Kinji lives in being called Fernvale, because basically there's a lot of fern moss where Kinji lives. Like Kinji lives in the ground, underground, the trees have a lot of moss on them and stuff like that. So that was kind of the vibe. But if you guys are interested in that, let me know in the description below. I'm going to put like an interest form. I would really love it if you guys would fill it out and tell me if you'd be interested in a mail club, and then I'll launch that hopefully this month or close to like the end of November. So then you guys, if you order a subscription, you'll get it in like December, like before Christmas or something like that. So let me know if you're interested. Check out the interest form below, and feel free to let me know in the comments if you don't want to fill out the interest form. I just want to know if that would be something cool for you guys. I have like a page already set up on my website, but you just can't buy anything, but you kind of look at it and see what I'm thinking so far. I think it would be cool for you guys to hear more about the Kinji lore. Now let's move on to other things that I'm doing here at Slam. I'm working on a collab, and you guys are going to hear about it really soon. This month, November, I'm going to drop this collab. Pretty cool. I don't want to give too much away, but I was working on it a lot this week, doing a lot of B-roll and footage for it, and also like planning all the different edits and videos that we're going to be putting out during that time. So you're going to see a lot of shorts about that and a lot of videos about that. So I can't wait to show you guys that. So keep it a lookout for new content and new surprises. Yeah, it's going to be great. All right. What else have I been doing? Sam has been really busy this week, and so we did a lot of different events. Did post 2 videos this week just to kind of keep the vibes going and stuff like that. I posted a video about Tunda and then a Halloween themed video. Yeah, speaking of Halloween, we have a Halloween themed party today, so I think that's going to be pretty fun. I'm going to attend that. And Creator Camp also hosted a film festival, or they're actually doing a film tour sort of thing around the country, going to like New York, LA, Seattle, and SF. You're in SF. They came here about on Tuesday, and we went to the film festival, the whole Slam group. It was really fun. I got to sit and watch the movie. It was the first time seeing a movie premiere, so that was pretty cool. There was a red carpet and everything. And the end, they showed people the first 1,000 ticket holders in the credits. And one of my biggest dreams was to always see my name at the end of a credit scene. And bro, it was there, and I was like so shocked. I was like, what the heck? Like, so I'm really excited about that. I was really happy about that. It was so cool. Honestly, like one of the coolest experiences I've had. And I got to shake hands with somebody. Our creator camp, Simon, was cool. So yeah. That was an experience. And other than that, yeah, Simon's been really fun. Aurelian, my plant, I've been watering him. Don't worry, guys. I'm always watering him every week. I know I didn't film last week, but I did water Aurelian, and he's thriving. He's doing great. And as you know, last week I did take a break. So I went out of town. I went back to Michigan to visit my little Michigan family, my little cat, my partner. We hung out, we carved pumpkins. It was super fun. Detroit was also having I had a park opening. It was like a 22-acre park opening. They're having their harvest festival there. It was a really cool experience to go back home, see everybody, and also see the park opening too. I got reinvigorated to come back here at Slam and do my best and finish off the sprint, 10 weeks, and it's coming to a close real quick. So I'm really excited to see what's up next. My plans for next week is to continue with the storyboards for Kinji, get up to at least 200 boards, and maybe move to the scene where we're going to the main, I guess, action scene of this little short film. I'm also going to be editing a lot for the collab stuff, Mail Club ideas. So if you guys want to give me more ideas for the Mail Club, or if you want to let me know so I can gauge your interest on whether or not the Mail Club stuff is interesting to you guys, I'll be working on that in the coming month as well. So yeah, been pretty busy, and today's Halloween, so now it's time to celebrate and be kind of fun and do fun Halloween stuff. I made some brownies. I made some for Halloween. We're having a little potluck. I made some brownies, Halloween themed brownies, or a pumpkin patch brownies. So yeah, that's all the updates. If you want to support me, go to mactaxart.com. You can buy merch there, you can buy stickers, and soon maybe the Mail Club if everybody's interested. And I guess I'll see you guys around on next week. More storyboards coming your way. And if you want me to talk about anything else about Kinji, the lore, let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll talk about that next time or in a short. But I guess I'll see you guys around. Thanks for watching. You want a matcha latte? I got you. Oh, I had to move away from New York lately. I just don't need Spider-Man anymore. So I moved here to SF. But all I see here, I don't see any problems. Just a bunch of tech boys making AI robots and stuff.